Hi Diane, hope your move is going well. Here's just a short video of things we would have covered in our lesson. And again, I hope you have a wonderful week. So first thing, just a quick review of our A major scale. We're going to try it with 2-note stop bows like this. And we'll also try it with 4-note stop bows like this. And then we had our D major scale as well. And in our D major scale, we're going to try to play in just the upper half, so just this half of the bow up here. And I'm going to play each note 2 times like this. I hope that goes well as you're practicing your D major scale. Now we're going to go also to our finger patterns. We had the A and the E, and there's this finger pattern, if I can show it with my hand, this. And so I'm going to do it like this. And I can do that several times on my A, and I can also do it on my E. Like that as well. And I'm trying to make sure I only play one string at a time, looking for a good tone, making sure my bow, I'm using enough bow, but my bow is also controlled and not going all over the place on my violin. And then we have our Lightly Row song that we've been working on. So I'll play the whole Lightly Row right now. I think we're trying to just fix a couple notes with it, and then work on just getting a good sound. And again, trying to make sure I'm only hitting one string at a time. So here's Lightly Row all together. It goes like this. And there's Lightly Row. Again, trying to get just really good sound as we play. And then we had our essential elements that we were working on. I believe it was exercise 80 and 81. So hopefully we'll be able to hear that next week. Or not next week, in 2 weeks. We don't have lessons next week because the school is on spring break. So you get 2 weeks to work on this stuff. And then we also had Song of the Angels. And we were trying to get a really good sound, which we were this last lesson. So here is the whole Song of the Angels. We're going to play it 2 times in a row. And so it goes like this. Starting with our plucking. Repeat. Song of the Angels all the way through. And again, just a review of our bow. We were trying to make sure that we're getting a good sound. Our bow is moving fast enough and also heavy enough on our strings and not just floating on top. Now, something to think about as you play, we'll talk about this more in our next lesson, is our bow arm has 4 different joints to it as I play. So I have up here in my shoulder, and then I have my elbow on my wrist and my fingers here. So my shoulder here, I have what's called the ball and socket joint, and so I can go around like this without going like that. I can just do this. This allows us to throw a ball, to do other things. And the purpose of this muscle, we call him the elevator. And so with my upper arm here, he helps me go to different floors on my violin. So I have the E, A, D, and G. And it really helps me elevate to whatever floor I'm playing on. And then I have my elbow, which can really only move 2 directions. It can open and shut. It really can't move any other directions without other parts of my body becoming engaged. And so with that, he's going to measure the distance from my hand to the strings. He's doing all the measuring work. And then my wrist is kind of floppy. He's kind of like somebody who's slightly sleepy and just kind of meanders. He kind of holds everything together, and he can be nice and what we call passive or floppy, or he can be active. So a little bit more firm, and he helps our finger movements and our elbow movements all to kind of combine into a nice cohesive whole and sound good together. And then we have our fingers. Our finger joints are very similar to our shoulder joint that we can move in multiple directions. It's just a smaller movement. So we call them the tick-tock fingers, and basically their purpose is to do articulation. So as I'm playing, I want to think about allowing my measure guide to help me measure the distance rather than my shoulder. My shoulder's just there to help me with the elevator, and then my elbow is there to help me measure as I'm playing. And we're going to do one last thing, Diane, before I finish this video. Last thing I want to talk about is something called circle bow. So for circle bow, I'm going to put my bow on the A string. I'm going to pull it down bow like this. I'm going to lift off and make a little circle. Come back to my hand. Make a circle. Come back, land. Make a circle. And I can do smaller ones and faster. But let's start off just with some nice big circles. And so just do down bow, come, lift off, come, and then land back at the frog, land, and then pull again. Land, pull again. And we call them circle bows. We typically use these actually a decent amount in our playing, especially early on. And it's just a really helpful technique to know. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Hope your moving goes well. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. And I'll be sending out an email probably either tonight or tomorrow with some reminders about no lessons next week. So again, no lessons the week of March 21st to the 26th. And then we'll have lessons again that following Monday. So have a wonderful week, Diane. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.